Hi everybody, it's Erin from ePapery, and you're looking at my messy desk today. I was in the studio here last night doing some work. Decided to do a little bit of scrap busting this weekend. So the first thing I did was I took all my scraps and I sorted them into categories and cut down all my cardstock into, pre-cut sizes. Pre-cut sizes to make cards and tags from. So that was the first thing I did, and then I sorted everything else into kind of larger scraps and the teeny tinies and little strips and stuff like that. So just trying to kind of get through some stuff, maybe get some things sort of pre-made. But one of the things that I found in my scrap, God, I say a lot. Blah. One of the things that I found in my scrap stash were offcuts from a file folder like this, and paper that I had folded for. I'm not even sure what I used, why I had this folded and cut that way. But I did have, this was, I think, an offcut part that I did possibly for pockets or a cover or something for a book. So I thought these would be super cute matchbook notebooks. So that's what I decided I was going to make from these. So I had 2 of each type, and then I made, I'll do kind of like a time-lapse video instead of narrating the whole thing. So these are what I made last night. I did not video this part because, and I think we missed me just attaching this final little closure on this one because Matt brought dinner down. I turned the camera off and we ate, and then I just got back to work and, didn't turn the camera back on. So that's life in my brain sometimes. So, but I thought that they turned out super cute. So this one has just got a little closure with a homemade paper button. If you are looking for how to make these, Louisa Heinzel has a really awesome tutorial on how to make these. I made mine a little bit different. Instead of stacking book pages to make a thicker surface, I put paper on top of like cereal board cardboard box. So it's still pretty thin, but also very sturdy. So that's what I did for mine. But she has got a tutorial on how to make these little homemade buttons. And what's nice about the homemade is that you can make them any size you want. You can make them any color you want and finish them any way you want. And they're thin, so they're not adding a whole lot of bulk. Of course, I messed that up right away by using this string to attach it and actually sew it on versus just gluing it. But what I wanted was a little bit of space to in order to get the string around. And I just think that this particular type of yarn, it's just really cool. It's very textural, lots of different things going on in there. So I thought that was pretty neat. But so yeah, this is the cover. I did this by collaging the parts of the kitchen copy of some guest checks. For ePapery, when we get an order in, we actually write the order out on a guest check so that we can check off everything. And then I save all of those once we're done shipping the orders out, and we coffee dye them or whatever. So I took the kitchen area, or the kitchen, because I like the yellow. And you can just faintly see writing. I make sure there's no addresses or anything on it. And then I also put some coffee dyed crinkly paper and some napkin, and then finish that off with a bird image that's got kind of a reverse scalloped edge on it, and I backed that with some cardstock. I did an embossed border on it, a little bit of lace, a ribbon ruffle up here with some decorative stitching. So yeah, that's what this one was. I also, inside this one, because I didn't have a whole lot of papers that were going to be long enough to, you know, make it the full length, what I ended up doing was taking this, they were kind of like half sheet sizes of coffee dyed paper that I have, cutting them to width, and then using a piece of book page that was the same width to sew them together into a long strip. And I left that book page flippy flap on, and then I used a decorative stitch there. So you'll see that where those sheets of coffee dyed are incorporated, there's an extra little flap, and then there's that that decorative stitching there, which I thought just added a little bit something extra. For the rest of the papers, I used, this is just a beigey brownie colored copy paper. I don't remember where I got it, or if it was something that Mom picked up, or maybe something we picked up at a thrift store, but I have this pile of this colored paper. And then the other paper was a piece of scrapbook paper. It's 12 by 12, but it's the thinner stock, and it's only one-sided. So I took my tea stain that I have, that I made myself, and to just put a little bit of color on the back. And it's nice because I can kind of see the brush strokes and stuff, so it adds just a little bit of texture. So that's the inside of that notebook. And I just left the manila inside blank so that there's more writing space in there. So I thought that turned out really cute. And then this other one that I made, which was from the scrap that was this size, what I did first was I ran the paper through my Big Shot with an embossing folder. And then I took my Gilder's Paste Wax. The color that I have is bronze, which I like because it's gold, but it's not like that obnoxious yellowy gold. It's kind of, it's more muted, and it does blend well with bronzy and like more bronzy and coppery colors when that's called for. So it's a good all-around color if you're looking for one to start with. Highly recommend that one. I think the next one on my list is a German silver or a pewter. So anyway, side conversation, but I took that, and I like to use, instead of my finger, I like to use these little blenders. So I take that, I just kind of do just a quick little swirl, and then lightly rub that over the surface to get this sort of burnished look on it. Matt was down here when I was doing this, he thought that was the coolest thing. And then after that, I distressed the sides with some walnut stain. And it kind of, I think it looks just a little bit reminiscent of leather, of embossed leather, once I put the walnut stain on there. So I thought that was kind of cool. On the front, I used a little piece of book page. I put a little bit of spritz on the front with a distressed mica stain in, what color is it? Empty Tomb. This was from the Halloween colors. Just kind of a slow spritz so that it was more gloppy. So it does catch the light a little bit. It's not solid black. It just added a little bit of something to the background. A little strip of fabric that had that tealy color and some gold in it, because I had already chosen this sticker, which it's got some dimension and poof to it. This was part of a set that I got at the Dollar Tree. And then just a little circle punch here from some scrap paper to just finish out the composition and add a little bit of something. And then a label for the front flap was just one of my words and sentiments. I don't think I have these in the shop yet. If you guys are interested in having, I've got a set of black and ivory, just word labels that are this size. Let me know if you'd be interested in those. I might post those as a freebie. So comment below. And then back to that with some green colored cardstock, which I distressed with some walnut stain, and then ran some of that Gilder's paste wax around the center. I used a Velcro closure for this one. And the interior of this one, I actually had the title page from one of my Edith Holdens sitting in my scrap bin, so I used that, and I thought that was kind of cute because there's the title there. And then I just took some thin stock white paper, typing paper, I think, and put that in there. So it's nothing spectacular with the pages themselves. It's pretty simple, but it's just a small little notebook. So and then those are sewn in, and I did round the edges of these pages too. So there is that one. All right, so the rest of this video is going to be just kind of a sped up me just working with some music, so you can see, you know, the construction of this one. So hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you like to see videos like this, or if you would like to see something different. I'm always looking for feedback, so please, you know, feel free to engage with us in the comments and let us know what you'd like to see from our channel. Bye.